potential as far as that 5 volt battery source is considered, and therefore I have to put a negative sign with that battery source. As I am going to move from positive to negative, there is going to be drop in potential. So it will be minus 5 volt, minus 2I2, as only current I2 is flowing through the given resistor. It will be minus 2I2, minus 5I2, minus 3 into. Now I am going to analyze, or I am writing down this equation for loop number 2, and therefore I will assume the current flowing in loop number 2 as higher than the current flowing in loop number 1. So here it will be I2 minus I1, and that is equal to 0. So I can simplify this equation as minus 5 is equal to minus 3I1 plus 10I2. I will call this as equation number 2. As no element is common between loop number 2 and loop number 3, in which a potential drop will take place, and therefore no term containing I3 is present in equation number 2. In a similar way, if I carry out the analysis for my third loop, then I can write down the equation as 5 minus 4I3 minus 6. Now once again, that 6 ohm resistor is common between loop number 1 and loop number 3. As I am writing down the equation for loop number 3, I will assume current I3 to be higher than current I1. So it will be 6 into I3 minus I1, and then there is another potential or another source of voltage, that is of 20 volt. So that will be plus 20, and this is equal to 0. Or same equation I can simplify it in this particular fashion. And I will call this as equation number 3. So as there are 3 loops, I need to have 3 simultaneous equations so that I can solve them using my calculator. So you might be familiar with this, how to get the expression or the values for I1, I2 and I3 by making use of equation mode in your calculator. Okay. So if I substitute the proper coordinates in the equation mode on your calculator, you will get the answers or the values for I1, I2 and I3. But before that, please check whether you are going to get these 3 equations. Okay, so this particular thing you need to keep in mind. If you look at this equation and this equation, here as I was writing down the equation for loop number 1, I have taken loop current in loop number 1 as dominant as compared to the other 2 currents, and therefore here it is I1 minus I3, whereas for loop number 3 I have written it as I3 minus I1, because this equation I had written for loop number 3, and so I assume the current in loop number 3 as higher than the current in loop number 1. Same is the case for these 2 terms. While analyzing loop number 1, as I told you, I have taken or I have assumed current in loop number 1 as higher than the current in loop number 2, and therefore here the term is I1 minus I2, whereas while analyzing loop number 2, I have assumed the current in loop number 2 higher than the current in loop number 1. Therefore here it is I2 minus I1, whereas here it is I1 minus I2. So if you have understood these 3 equations, how we have obtained them, now the only thing that is remaining is just to put these 3 equations or their coordinates in your calculator and get the answers. So if I do that particular activity by my own, then I will get the answers for I1, I2 and I3 like this. So I am getting value of I1 as plus 4.27 amperes, value of I2 as 0.781 amperes, and value of I3 as 5.06 amperes. So it is better if you consider at least 2 digits, minimum 2 digits after the decimal point, so that your answers will not vary too much. Okay, so if I do the analysis of the given circuit by KVL, I am getting these three values as the magnitude of the three unknown loop currents. As it is the very first example that we are studying, I have written all the three equations in detail. So just do this analysis work by your own and check whether you are getting the same three equations as I obtained them over here. Okay, so these are the three values for the three unknown loop currents. So such kind of circuit you might have analyzed in BEE. We'll try to solve one more circuit based upon or consisting of the independent voltage and the independent current source, and then we start with the actual content of your syllabus. I will be following the same procedure throughout this particular chapter. We will consider the very simple circuits at the beginning with which you are already familiar, and then we start considering the circuits consisting of dependent voltage and or dependent current sources. Okay, so I hope all of you are getting the same three values for the three unknown loop currents, that is I1, I2 and I3. Let us try to consider the second numerical. So in this particular numerical, I have to calculate the current flowing through the 5 ohm resistance. So the given circuit is somewhat like this. So this is an independent current source of 3 ampere. This is 2 ohm resistor. This is 4 amperes current source. 5 ohm resistor. 2 ohm resistor. 2 volt independent voltage source, and an independent current source of 3 amperes on the right. So I want to determine current flowing through this particular resistance. So let us assume, now how many loops are there? Loop number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So there are 4 loops, so there are going to be 4 different loop currents. So I will name them like this. I will call this current as I1, this current as I2, this current as I3 and this current as I4. So as there are 4 loops, I have to have 4 loop currents. So I have marked them as I1, I2, I3 and I4. Now each loop I have to analyze by making use of KVL. So as you can see in these 3 loops, that is loop number 1, loop number 2 and loop number 4, current sources are present, and therefore there is no need for us to calculate the values of currents I1, I2 and I4. Rather the values are already given. So looking at the circuit, immediately I can write down I1 is equal to 4 ampere, I2 is equal to 3 ampere and I4 equal to minus 3 ampere. I need to put a minus sign over here because the assumed current direction is clockwise, whereas this particular current source is going to circulate the current in an anti-clockwise direction, and therefore here I have substituted the sign as minus 3. So in short, I have to apply KVL to the middle loop only, in which I have assumed the current of I3 amperes is flowing. and our final aim is to get the current flowing through this 5 ohm resistor. Okay, let us try to see how we can write down the equation for that middle loop in which the current of magnitude I3 amperes is flowing. So if I apply KVL to this particular loop, now this particular element, that is the resistor in which we are interested, it is common between loop number 1 and loop number 3. So as a basic principle which I told you already, the voltage drop that will take place across this 5 ohm resistor, I will write down over here as minus 5 into I3 minus I1. As I am going to move in the direction of loop current through this 5 ohm resistor, there is going to be drop in potential, and therefore the sign is minus. This particular resistor is common between loop number 3 and loop number 2, and therefore the current that will flow in this particular 2 ohm resistor, I will write down it as I3 minus I2. Similarly, this 2 ohm resistor is again common between loop number 3 and loop number 4, and therefore the current flowing through it will be I3 minus I4, and there is a voltage source present over here. As I am going to move from positive potential to negative potential, there is going to be drop in potential, so it will be minus 2, and the total addition or summation should be equal to 0. Now if I simplify this equation further, I will get the new equation as minus 9I3. Okay, you can see over here, this is minus 5, minus 2, that is minus 7, and this minus 2, so that is going to be minus 9I3 plus 5I1 plus 2I2 plus 2I4 minus 2 is equal to 0. Now I already obtained the values of I2, I1 and I4. So if I substitute them, what I will get? So minus 9I3 will be equal to, all these terms I will transfer them on the right hand side. So that will be 2 minus 5I1 minus 2I2 minus 2I4. So now I will substitute the values of I1, I2 and I4. So it will be minus 2 plus, now how much is I1? I1 is 4 ampere. So this is minus 5 into I1, so that will be 5 into 4 minus 2 into I2 is 3 ampere, so it will be minus 2 into 3 minus 2 into, now I4 is, how much is I4? I4 is minus 3, so that will be 2 into minus 3. And now if I solve it further, what I will get? Minus 9I3 will be equal to 2 minus 20 minus 6, and this will become plus 6, or minus 9I3 is equal to minus 18, and therefore I3 will come out to be 2 amperes. Okay. So this was the value of the only unknown current which was present in our original circuit. But we are not finished with this much calculation. We are supposed to calculate the current through 5 ohm resistor. So I will draw only that much part of our circuit over here. So this was that 5 ohm resistor. In this particular direction, our current I1 is flowing, whereas our current I3 was flowing in this particular direction. So the net current that will flow through this 5 ohm resistor will be I5 ohm, I will call it as, will be I1 minus I3. I1 was 4 ampere and I3 we have calculated as 2 ampere. So the current that will flow through that 5 ohm resistor will be of 2 ampere, and in which direction it will flow? It will flow from top to bottom. Okay, so this is going to be the direction of the current. Okay, so this is the second numerical that we have solved, and now we are going to solve the numerical containing dependent sources. So my aim will be to consider majority of the numerical that have been asked in previous semester examination. Okay, so we try to solve now some numerical containing dependent voltage or dependent current source. Okay, so once again I request all of you to please copy down all the steps that I have used over here to analyze the given circuit, and just have a look how I have obtained the required amount of current. Okay, so in the present case the current flowing through 5 ohm resistor is of 2 ampere and it is going to flow in the downward direction. Okay, let us try to see the next numerical. Now in the next numerical they are saying that we have to calculate the magnitude of voltage V3 if element A is number 1 a 5 ohm resistor and number 2 a dependent source of magnitude 1.5 I1 with positive terminal on RHS. Okay, so I will draw that original circuit over here. So you guys write down point V3 if that element A is a 5 ohm resistor, which is the first part of your numerical, and if that element A is a dependent voltage source of magnitude 1.5 times I1. So as you can see over here, the magnitude of the voltage source, it is going to be dependent upon the current flowing through an element present anywhere in your circuit. So this I can call it as current dependent voltage source. Okay, so let us have a look at the given circuit. So the given circuit is somewhat like this. And in between these 2 points that element A is connected. Okay, so the values of the parameters of the elements are, this is 80 volt, and the voltage across this 4 ohm resistor with positive at the top and negative at the bottom, they are denoted by the symbol V3. So our main aim is to find out this particular magnitude. Okay, let us try to analyze this circuit by considering first the element A is a 5 ohm resistance. So that means instead of that A, now I have to connect a resistor of 5 ohm. So again, as you can see over here, I will assume this current as I1, this current as I2, and this current as I3. Okay, so once again we have to do the same thing. We have to apply KVL to all the 3 loops independently. So if I apply KVL to my first loop, so what equation I will get? 80 minus 10 into I1 minus 20 into I1 minus I2 minus 30 into I1 minus I3, and their entire addition is going to be equal to 0. So now next step is to simplify this equation further. So if I do that, I will get a simplified version of the equation as 80 is equal to 60I1 minus 20I2 minus 30I3. I will call this as equation number 1. Now I will apply KVL to my second loop. So for the second loop, if I apply KVL, I will be getting an equation as 30 minus 5 into I2 minus I3 minus 20 into I2 minus I1, and this is equal to 0. So again, I will request you people to simplify this equation further. If you do that, you will get your answer as 30 is equal to minus 20I1 plus 25I2 minus 5I3, and this I will call it as equation number 2. And then I will apply KVL to my third loop. So for the third loop, no voltage source is present anywhere in the loop. Therefore, it will be 0 minus 40I3 minus 30 into I3 minus I1 minus 20 into I3 minus I1, and this entire addition is going to be equal to 0. So if I simplify that equation further, I will be getting the resultant equation as 30I1 plus 5I2 minus 70I3 so we have repeated this, so it should be minus 5 I3 minus I2, so it is going to be 5I2 minus 75I3, this is equal to 0. I am going to call this as equation number 3. Okay, so as you can see now, there were 3 unknown loop currents, and therefore I need to have at least 3 simultaneous equations. So now my next